Most people would agree that social media has its downsides. It is not uncommon for people to feel anxious, depressed, lonely, and to feel the fear of missing out. Everyone has felt its negative impacts, yet 76% of the population has a social media account. Social media is bad for our well-being. It has increased the rate of anxiety in our population. It has been acknowledged as a tool for our to put us at spiritual risk, and it has been linked to higher feelings of loneliness and a decrease in other aspects of our well-being. We need to find ways to monitor and minimize social media use. I am not saying you must delete all your social media accounts and to never look at a screen again. I am simply saying that by decreasing social media use, we will increase our well-being. Jonathan Haidt, an American social psychologist and a professor at NYU, has talked about how social media does not only correlate to the rise in anxiety, but it has caused the rise in anxiety. Many people believe that there is no rise in the rate of anxiety in the past decade, that everyone just feels more comfortable talking about mental health. Dr. Haidt completely debunks this belief, and he talks about, in his research, he finds that social media has nearly tripled the rate of anxiety in our population. In General Conference last fall, President Nelson challenged the youth and the children to take part in a social media fast. He stated, "I acknowledge that there are positives about social media, but if you are paying more attention to feeds from social media than you are to the whisperings of the Spirit, then you are putting yourself at spiritual risk as well as the risk of experiencing intense loneliness and depression." President Nelson knew about the problems of social media, and he decided to do something about it. After the challenge was addressed, LDS.org published an article entitled 10 Benefits of the Social Media Fast. In it, it talks about how taking a break from social media can allow us to have more time for the important things. It can help us to feel decreased loneliness and depression, and most importantly, can help us draw closer to God because we are listening to His Word. Now, everyone knows that face-to-face interaction increases our well-being. However, with the rise of social media, face-to-face interaction has greatly declined. In a study entitled Associations of Facebook Use and Well-Being, they found that with an increase in social media, there is a decrease in well-being. In this graph, you can see that with every group with a higher rise in social media use, there is a decrease in well-being. With all this information about social media and personal experiences about its negative effects, it should be a no-brainer that we should find ways to decrease its use. Melissa G. Hunt, a social psychologist studying social media, conducted a study that found a link between time spent on social media, and an increase in mental illness. Melissa G. Hunt stated, "It is a little ironic that reducing your use of social media is actually making you feel less lonely. Some of the existing literature on social media suggests that there is an enormous amount of social comparison that happens. It's easy to conclude that everyone else's life is cooler or better than yours." Now, there are some positive aspects of social media. It gives you a platform that you can go and share positive messages with, and it allows you to stay in contact with people that you otherwise would not be able to. These are great things. However, the negatives of social media greatly outweigh the positives. Most people aren't using social media to share positive messages. Instead, they are using it to bully and belittle others. And this great social contact that we have isn't helping us feel more in line with people and feel connected. It is making us feel more lonely. Social media has created a world where we are constantly surrounded by people, but most people feel completely alone. Social media seems like a great tool in our day, but it is dangerous. We must find ways to decrease social media use and instead focus on social interactions that are helpful and positive to us. We all want that social interaction. Thank you.